This is what I mean when I say Brazil is only dangerous if you're stupid. The other night, some people from my hostel convinced me to go out. Honestly, I didn't even want to go out. One girl practically begged me, so I finally gave in and said fine, but I'm leaving early. We ended up in Lapa, one of Rio's most famous nightlife districts. The streets were packed, music everywhere, drinks flowing, thousands of people, and if you've ever watched anything about Brazil, this is exactly the kind of place people tell you to avoid. Now, my group went and drinks. I wasn't really drinking and I was already thinking about heading home, so I stayed off to the side while they went up to a street vendor. That's where things almost went sideways. Out of nowhere, I hear shouting. A fight looks like it's about to break out, tensions are rising, people are gathering around, and for a second, it looks like this could turn into a real problem. And do you know what caused it? Not a robbery, not a gang, not some random act of violence. One of the guys from my hostel decided it would be a good idea to tell the vendor, fuck you.
I'm sorry. Fuck you. No. I'm sorry. I fucked up. No.
Yeah, you don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't talk anymore. Naturally, the vendor wasn't too happy about that. Thankfully, the guy selling drinks was actually pretty cool. People stepped in, the situation got de-escalated, and nothing ended up happening. But as I was walking back to my hostel, I couldn't help but think about how this exact story gets told online. Someone goes to Brazil, acts reckless, creates a problem, and then turns around and says, see, Brazil is dangerous. No, a stupid decision creates a dangerous situation, and that's the difference. I've spent 3 months traveling across Brazil, visited 10 different cities, and filmed almost every step of the journey. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the real truth behind Brazil's reputation, what dangers actually exist, what tourists should watch out for, and most importantly, how to avoid 99% of the problem people run into. Let's get into it. Yo, what's the vibes, man? You see where we at, okay? We are currently, of course, we are in Brazil, you know what I'm saying? In Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I think that's how you say it, to be exact. I'm at the rooftop of my hostel or a terrace or whatever. But nonetheless, man, let's get straight into it, okay? So, you know, everybody thinks, not everybody, but a lot of people, especially on social media, claim that Brazil is just this dangerous place for tourists, a place where you just have to be so careful, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, man. And, you know, before I even came to Brazil, I was in Asia for like a year and a half, all throughout Asia. You guys know this if you watch my content. And before I came to South America, I was so worried because I'm like, man, like, am I gonna be able to vlog? Am I gonna be able to walk around with my camera? Is that gonna be a problem? Am I gonna be able to walk around with my phones? Like, it's gonna be an issue. Like, I need I do YouTube, so I need to be able to film. I was extremely worried about Brazil. And then I arrived and it was nothing like people said. It was absolutely completely different, okay? What I thought Brazil was gonna be like versus what it actually is like is night and day, right? And I know some people are going to, you know, push back and disagree. Some people are going to say danger can happen anywhere at any time. Others are going to say Brazil is unpredictable no matter how you move. And to be honest, from my experience in Brazil, I think a lot of the danger that tourists face, once again, we're speaking about tourists, okay? Tourists, right? I'm not talking about the locals, because I know you all like to conflate issues. I am talking about the tourist experience, all right? So don't get on my dick about nothing else. I'm talking about the tourist experience. Now, my point is, I think a lot of the danger that tourists face is based on their behaviors and not necessarily location. I think a lot of tourists do just dumb things, and then, you know, they say you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I think that's a lot of what happens the majority of the time. And even when I watch videos of people explaining what happened, is usually they did something wrong and then face the consequence. It's not usually, oh, I was just chilling on the terrace of my hostel and then somebody came up from outside and put a gun to my head. It's usually not that. It's usually like, oh, I was outside looking for a GPS, I wasn't fully paying attention, somebody snatched my phone. It's usually stuff like that.
He was noticing that I was being very relaxed with my phone, like I wasn't paying attention to it, and he picked up on that.
We were there for at least 30 minutes filming and getting the right take and having our phones in our hands, so he had been watching us for a while.
The guy came, just went up for her necklace, she had a necklace on and pushed her away. And
on my birthday a few days back, I agreed to share a drink with a Brazilian couple.
And that's when we saw Paul talking to 4 women. These 4 women only spoke Portuguese, and then the girls invited themselves over to our Airbnb.
Now, one thing I will say, and like I said, I was worried about coming to Brazil. The things that people say online, it's just another one of those things where people stereotype countries. People say Brazil is dangerous, People say Colombia is full of cartels, Mexico is full of cartels, Thailand is something else, India is this. Everybody stereotypes countries based on like maybe one city or a specific group of people or something like that. And the reality is the entire country is nothing like this one thing that they make it seem. And that's something I've learned time and time again. Every country that I've been to has been the complete opposite of the stereotype. Every single country. And that says a lot. And so when I came to Brazil, I was like, although I was like questioning, but I kind of was like, you know what, it's probably going to be another one of those things where people say it's like this, but in reality it's like that. And I have to make a point about this, okay? Most tourists and content creators, because I feel like content creators often do a disservice in representing a country. So content creators and most tourists only go to a select few cities. They go to Rio, Salvador, Sao Paulo, and then they base the entire country off of their experience, right? Oh, this happened in Rio, Brazil is like this. Oh, this happened in Salvador, Brazil is like this. But the reality is, and I've traveled, and this is why I love traveling, this is why I enjoy coming to see places for myself. I've traveled to, I think this is my 6th city. Okay, 6 cities so far, right? Most people that say Brazil is dangerous have never been to Ubatuba. Most people that say Brazil is dangerous have never been to Ilha Grande. Most people that say Brazil is dangerous have never been to Belo Horizonte, have never been to Paraty. Like, these people are making these claims without seeing the country in totality. You know what I mean? And I just think that's just unfair, especially if you're saying something negative. If you're saying, yo, Brazil is amazing, like, okay, cool. But if you're scaring people from coming, if you're speaking down on a country, but you're only visiting one city, you're only going to Rio, you're only going to Salvador, you're only going to Sao Paulo, I feel like you can't really just bash a country. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like I said, I bring you guys the content that I do. I go to all of these different cities, and like I said, this is like number 5 or number 6. We're not stopping here. We're going to plenty other cities that you guys never heard of. Okay, I know for a fact y'all haven't seen most of the content creators y'all watch. Y'all haven't seen them in Belo Horizonte. Facts. Never seen them in Paraty. Fact. I know that. Okay, and you know, I'm not even here to prove a point. It's just I like to see more than what is on social media. I want to really see the country for myself. So yeah, like I was saying, if you listen to most people's stories about their issues in Brazil, you'll hear similar stories, okay? Oh, I was at this party, somebody pickpocketed me. Oh, even like my homegirl I was hanging out with the other day, she was telling me she was in Rio, her bag was behind her, she wasn't really paying attention, somebody went in her bag, took her phone, she didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that comes down to her not being alert. And same with most of these other stories. I've heard stories, people, oh, I was on the beach, I got so comfortable, boom, somebody took it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, I did XYZ and then this happened. Like I said, it's very rarely that somebody was just doing everything right and then chaos ensued, okay? And I waited to make this video too, because when I first arrived, I felt like this, but I already knew y'all was gonna say, oh, you haven't been in Brazil long enough, you haven't gone to enough places, this, that, and the third. I've been to like 6 cities, more cities than y'all have ever been to. So I'm valid, okay? I'm walking around, I'm vlogging with my camera. If it's really that dangerous as people make it seem, why am I just chilling? Why am I able to walk around and get all this content? Okay? And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's not dangerous. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. But I'm just saying that you can move in a way to avoid this. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about. It's super, super easy to avoid all of the BS in Brazil and Rio and Salvador and the heavy tourist concentrated areas. It's so easy to avoid this stuff. That's why I'm like, how are you guys like getting, like, how you guys losing your phone and getting stuff stolen? Like, how's this happening? Like, and I'll say a lot of it comes down to, once again, behaviors, just being reckless. Like that guy, we're at a party, or I go out with people at my hostel, he tells a vendor, fuck you, and then the vendor threatens him, picks up a bottle. Like, what is going through your head where you think, oh, I'm in Brazil, I don't even speak the language, I don't even know anybody, but I'm going to tell this random guy, fuck you? mind you, everybody in this area is drinking alcohol, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And that's why, number one, me. That's why I really don't like going out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really big on nightlife these days. I'm definitely not big on group hangouts. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but rarely do you see me with big groups of people, and rarely do you see me with random men, okay? Usually it's just me and a vibe, and that's it. Why is that? Because of situations like that. That's what happens when you're with random ass men. They don't understand the code. You feel me? They will put your life at danger and not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like just do crazy shit. Like, I'm with you, and you know, I see it as like guilty by association. If I'm with a guy and he says fuck you to this vendor, well, the vendor, it's fuck both of us. You feel me? He go threaten both of us because I'm with him, right? And so even when you're with a group, it just becomes more chaotic because, once again, that's a perfect example of why I don't be hanging out with random ass guys and why I don't hang out with groups, because it's too much shit going on. I'm chilling in the cut, talking to somebody, blah, 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 vlogging, and somebody that I came out with is just doing some crazy shit. And I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. I look over and now it's about to be a fight. I don't even know this guy, but I'm with him. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of why I move the way I move. But like, my point is, I don't really do the nightlife too much. You know, I wake up early in the morning, I work out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the thieves is not waking up early as fuck in the morning and going to the calisthenics park. You feel me? Like, they're not up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but depending on your daily schedule, if you just live like a regular, normal life, bro, you really don't have any issues. From my experience, like, I walked everywhere with my camera, with my phone, headphones, etc. Haven't had one issue. Never have not had any issue. Okay. And I think it just comes down to like how I live my life. I'm super chill. I stay to myself. I'm like focused, head down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing too much. I don't got my phone all the way out. You know, I'm just chilling, and I'm moving smart. And you got to move smart. Of course, you got to move smart. If people see you as an opportunity, people are going to take that opportunity. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not saying Brazil isn't dangerous, but I'm saying it's very avoidable, especially if you're a tourist, you're staying in touristy areas. Like, also me, I haven't been to any of the favelas. I know they say, you know, stealing is like a bad thing in favelas, like people don't do that, but still, I'm not even gonna put myself in that position. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been to like any parties where it's like fucking everybody's touching and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even gonna put myself in that position, because for what? I'm already knowing what the potential outcome is, so I'm just gonna avoid that situation. It doesn't make sense to like gamble for what? What are we gambling for? You know what I'm saying? Just to make a video like, oh, somebody stole my phone. Like, bro, no, I just avoid that totally. I like my photos and my messages and all my shit in my phone. I need it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to put myself in no type of position that stuff like that can happen. So yeah, if you are considering coming to Brazil, man, listen. Don't listen to the noise. Don't fall for the trap, the shenanigans, whatever people are saying, bro. I would definitely say just come see for yourself. You'll be like surprised. Like I said, if you just stay out the way, stay to yourself, handle your business, bro, you have very, very little to worry about. And then once again though too, I'll say this, like, this will be my last point. A lot of people, like I said, they go to Rio, Sao Paulo, Salvador. People are sleep on the small towns. The beauty of the small towns is that in some big cities like Belo Horizonte, like, this isn't a small town. This is a very modern big city. It's still safe as ever. This area that I'm in, safe as ever. At night, you see me, I walk around, I go out, safe as ever. No issues whatsoever. But the small towns, the cool part about the small towns, and this is like in Colombia as well, everybody knows everybody. So people aren't going to do anything because everybody knows everybody. It's not like a person can do something and nobody's going to have any clue who did it. Everybody knows you, your mom, your sister, your brother, your grandmother. You're going to be a disgrace to your whole family if you try to do some stuff like that. So the small towns, Ubatuba, Paraty, great vibes, bro. And people like overlook these things. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? If you're only coming to Brazil for 2 weeks, you might not have time to go to these small towns. But my point is, don't claim a country is dangerous based on a few cities, okay? You've never seen the rest of the country. You can't speak on it, in my opinion, okay? But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know if you disagree, agree, whatever the case may be. If there's any points that I missed, I'm not sure. Let me know, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next video.